In the last segment we did a cast on and we worked one shoulder, then we came back to the end of the cast on and we picked up there and we cast on for the other shoulder. When we do the I-cord, we're going to do the same thing. So you're going to need to pick something that is going to give you a seamless transition from one side of your I-cord to another. If I am using the cotton DK that my sweater's made out of, I use this one. It's the right thickness for that particular yarn. For my test yarn, which is cotton and worsted, I use this. Okay, this is the cast on for the I-cord for the contiguous raglan shoulder. I'm going to cast on 6 stitches. The direction I wind the yarn around the needle determines which way my stitches are oriented. I like my stitches with my leading leg and back, so I'm going to wind accordingly. If you like your leading leg toward you, just wind your yarn in the opposite direction. So here we go. This is kind of cheating, but I don't pull my work through for my first row. It's not going to make any difference in the long run. It just makes things a little easier. As you build your I-cord, set your markers as you go. When I get a little bit done here, I'm going to come back to you and I'm going to show you how I set the markers, and that is for just this first half. The second half will be done differently, and I'll show you that when we get to it. The key to setting the the markers is to make sure let me see if I can spread it here. Do you see this yarn right here going across? The first side of the stitch on each end of that section of yarn going across is the lips that you're going to grab, and those are also the lips you're going to grab when you do your first, when you do all of the neck edge increases on this side. You're going to grab those 2 lips. So you're going to pick up this lip here and this lip here, and that's the place you're going to make your increase for your neck edge. That makes your increase for your neck edge right there. I'm going to put a marker right there. Okay, that is your increase for your neck edge. Now, the way I work this is I knit all the way to the first marked stitch that has a marker in it, and I use that as my turn. We're not going to do short row turns because short row turns are way too bulky for this particular application. Alright, I've got 2 on there. I'm going to put my shoulder marker on. There's my shoulder marker. And here's the stitch with the marker in it. That is the stitch I'm going to turn on right there. So I make that stitch and then I pass it to the other needle. And back we go. Slip the marker, no increases. This is just one of the setup rows. Now this This is the I-cord stitches, and they're going to be done twice. At 2 I-cord rows for every 2 body rows. We went down the caston and came back. That's 2 rows. So we're gonna do 2 rows of I-cord to compensate. Otherwise, the I-cord's going to be so tight, it'll just be ugly. Okay, there's row 1. You can do the same thing by, let me transfer these stitches and I'll show you what I mean. Alright, I'm at the marker. I have all of my I-cord stitches on this side. If I switch to the purl side, I can purl. If you're a right-handed knitter only, you can purl the I-cord and it will look just exactly the same. Okay, I've purled the I-cord. Now I'm going to slip those 6 stitches back to the other needle. Okay, there I go. I have them back to the other needle. I'm going to switch because I've already done my 2 rows of I-cord, I'm going to switch the marker over. Now I'm going to do my increase. And we want, you see right here, see this? We want this lip right here, which is the one below the active stitch. And we're going to follow that piece of yarn all the way across, and we're going to lift this side up, and that's what we're making our make one for the neck edge. That's our make one for the neck edge. And this row we are going to do our first increase for our shoulder. Knit 1, we're going to reach under and we're going to get that, we're going to make one right in that stitch right there. Now we're going to pull, I'm going to pull this particular marker. It's the one that was the stitch we just, or the turn we made just a minute ago. And this is the next stitch, and it's the next marker. That's where I'm going to make my turn stitch. Oops. Didn't hold it. There we go. That's my turn stitch. I'm going to transfer it to the other needle. And I'm going to go back the other way. The next row I do will be the row that gets the back raglan marker. Alright, here is the front shoulder, and we increase right there. Slip the marker, and now we do the I-cord. You're going to be working on the wrong side, so you'll be purling this particular row. I'm hoping by now you're used to the fact that I don't turn, and whatever I do you have to do on the reverse side. Alright, so there's one. Now I need one more I-cord row. I slipped the marker as well. Now I'm going to turn this over, and you can see this yarn right here is the one we're following across. It's the yarn right below our purl bumps. So we're going to pick this lip up. It's the one that goes over that yarn. We're going to pick this lip up. It's the one that goes over that yarn. You see that? And that's the, oops, I dropped my marker. And that's the one we're going to make our next increase, neck edge increase in that stitch. This is the row we're going to set the back marker. So everything from this point on is exactly the same as every other iteration of conti-rag we've done. The only difference is where we make the neck edge increase, we're making it across where the yarn goes across, and how we do the short row turns, we do them in the stitch with the marker. But everything else is the same. So we're setting the back neck marker. And this is what the shoulder is going to look like when you're ready for step 2.